I can do this.
This cap's got 2 clicks. That was one. Oh, fuck. Tell me you have the second one coming. I might just burn this shit.
Combustion.
I'm probably burning this shit out of my set. You're going to cut that out. Let's see, man. Because it does. It has 2 clicks, and I think I didn't hear the first one.
We're an honest show here, Jerry. You know the rules.
Time to dab.
It's time to dab. Did you combust?
Look at this.
Is that cherried? Jerry, can you change your shirt? I don't like that shirt.
You like my black one better?
It's better. Thanks.
Sweet. You got it. I don't know. I kind of like my white one.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool how you can change your shirt so quickly.
Yeah, man. Dynavap, they think shit through.
Jerry,
got all the answers.
What do you got in your hand there? Let's talk about the 2020M. I want to talk about it. Let's go deep and talk about it.
Deep, baby. Well, you can't go deep without starting with the packaging.
That's true.
There it is.
That's true. So
from the plastic tubes, which, you know, I thought I had there'd be one right here, to the cardboard, which you can get rid of and not worry about landfills and all that kind of stuff. Which I personally dig it because I was one of those that I never really used the tubes functionally. I get them and have a box full of tubes. You know what I mean?
I always thought that I would. Like I got it. I'm like, oh, I'm going to keep this and use it for cleaning and etc. But no, I don't recall ever using one of the tubes for carrying or cleaning or anything else.
I'm with you. Even when I clean it, I don't use my Dynavap.
Me either. I use my fingers. I just squirt alcohol inside and just or a little Ziploc.
Doesn't mean you can't. Doesn't mean you don't. Just means that we don't, and not everybody does. So this is a nice option for us. And if I want a tube, I can go buy a tube. You know what I mean? They're cheap.
Right. I like the whole biodegradable thing a lot, like using cardboard instead of plastic. I think that's a really, really cool move.
Going green, man, with the space theme too. Why not?
Yeah, and it didn't hit me that hard at first. Like at first I was like, oh shit, people are gonna miss their tubes. Like I know people love their tubes, but I think I love the cardboard a lot more than I miss the tubes.
There'll be people on both sides of it, really. You know, whatever. But you know, you can't really fault for the green side of it. So you know, whatever. That's kind of like the trump card on that one, I guess. So, but no, inside is the M, which again, you can't go deep without looking at it first. And you know, big difference between this and last year's.
Good, yeah, last year's there too. Last year was like such a functional, feelable change. Like last year, they nailed the grip. Like you can put in your hand, you can be naked and blind in the woods, put the vape in your hand, and you can find that carb hole. And the 2020, at first I thought they lost a little bit of it, but it's still there. It's still there. I think my carpal tunnel was just acting up that week.
You do have to relearn it. And I agree with you. Quite frankly, that was the main goal, I think, for George's design on last year's model, was to get one that you could just in the dark nail the carb and go to town. And it didn't quite translate over to this one as well, but it's still better than all the others, in my opinion. I kind of think that this thing here, though, I think we're starting to get more into omni territory when you really want to start comparing and going, what's the influence now? And I think that's pretty dope. There's a big difference between these two. And if you ask me, that now the convergence is on the M's is starting to go towards the omni with some things. I mean, you got the adjustable in here for the first time ever. You've got this kind of faceting diamond cut, and even right here by the mouthpiece, it's real similar. I mean, that mouthpiece, all that stuff right there, those look real similar on the cuts, if you want, especially down by the end. So I think it's pretty neat that the M has always gotten better functionally, and now this is a huge aesthetic leap into what has always been a top shelf Dynavap product.
It's true, and aesthetically, the M does have more of an omni resemblance. Like it cuts and folds the light up in this direction. It's a little more of that same silhouette. The tip brings a lot of aesthetic change. I'm not sure what the functional changes are of the tip. I mean, especially below the cap. So under the cap, it's now octagonal. It's like not round anymore. And I think that's, I
It's
think
got 12 sides to it.
is it 12 sides? I didn't
Yeah.
count the sides.
Which is some little dodecahedron kind of a, whatever that word is, which I rarely use, but there
Did
it
you
is, 12 sides.
did you see the? Let's see if I can get this to focus. So the little notch marks. There's like 2, 3, 3, 2, 2, 3, 3. We got
Yep.
we got to solve that mystery. Like there's something hidden.
Well, I'll tell you what I think he's doing. So what I think he's doing is, if you go back to the 18, we got the zigzag, zigzag, zigzag. And if you look at this, you have the same pattern, but you have it on a 12-sided instead of a circle. So it goes zigzag, zigzag.
Okay.
And it does it 3 times, just like on this one. So on the old one, you had 3 of these clear zigzag patterns up the cylinder. This time you have 3 of the zigzag patterns up to the dodecahedron. So you can't round it.
What did you call me?
Did something clip up again? Are we having connection problems?
No. Jerry,
That's
since
funny.
you called me a dodecahedron, I'm gonna go ahead and heat my tip up.
That better be the right word, man. I don't know. But that's what I think they're doing. Is they're just mimicking the zigzag pattern up the side, because they still do it in the same. If you look, there's 3 that are the same like last time. What they really did that I love, they started to do this. Can you see the cuts in the edge here? We're gonna do this again.
Look at you with the fancy 2-camera setup.
Trying right on the tip, if I can get my focus right.
Right on the tip.
Right on the tip. It's right on the edge. You can see the cuts.
Yeah, those are the serrations. They've changed the way that it's serrated.
What they did is they put 2 of them in at each one, and on the old one they had 1. So you basically have twice the amount of airflow that can cut through those little things. Now, I'm not sure if, I mean, when you hold them both empty side by side, you get more airflow out of the new one. So technically they did increase the airflow, but as soon as you pack them, it don't matter. I mean, the pack is where the most restriction is, and that's always where the bottleneck is. So they feel the same once you pack them up as far as the airflow goes. But I like that. They started doing it with the Hydrovong, and I think they're going to do it with all of them. Where they're just going to, some of these changes they just slowly roll out to all of them. Like I think they said the captive cap is going to eventually come out to all of them. So, which is another one that we hadn't talked about yet on here.
The serrations also help a lot with nug loading, which I know you're a big fan of.
Yes, that's right, Troy. Cutting through the forest with that thing.
Cutting through the forest. We got keys on the nug loading. He started nug loading, and he prefers it that way. He said it tastes a lot better.
Well, he's right.
Come on, now it's subjective.
Smart man.
It's subjective.
Of course, it's subjective, and he's right. But yeah, no, man, that's a vaporous machete, if you will.
I still like packing it with ground material, and I like packing it tight, and it has to do with the amount of vapor density that I can get.
Mm-hmm.
And I also want to point out that most of my hits aren't the ideal hit for my Vapcap. I like to pull a really dense milky vapor from the Vapcap, and I need to focus on getting my style of hit a lot of times.
Yeah, I tend to want to lay into a session with the Vapcap, and I'll go about 3 to 5 pulls depending on the pack. If it's a ground up bowl like this one, maybe 3 pulls, because I do some lengthy ones. But if I do a nugget, I'll go 5, 6 pulls and really just kind of ease into it. Maybe even pull the cap off and jab it with the tail and kind of cut it up a little bit or something, or even pull it out and crumble it and redo it and hit one more hit if I want to get greedy.
Okay.
But for the most part, it just depends on, it's a nice longer session.
So you mentioned that the new 2020 has an adjustable tip. Have you ever adjusted your tip? Have you ever adjusted the bowl in your Omni or in your new M?
I suck at it, and I always have. I could never get it with the titanium tips. I mean, every once in a while I get one that worked easily for me, but no. And I've watched the Dynavap video where he just so easily just pushes up from the bottom and it goes, and I'm going, shit, mine always pops out or comes up halfway.
Or tacos. Mine always tacos.
Tacos, that's it. I did notice that with the ledge, if I drop the screen in and was able to get on the ledge, that I think it would stay if then I packed it, and then if I had a couple bowls, it would probably stick in place. But that's some work for me, man. And personally, I want the bigger load on this anyhow. I think it's small already, so I'm not looking for micro dosing. Sorry.
Sure. Yeah, I've had the exact same luck with moving the screen. I'm not very good at it. I like a bigger bowl anyway, so it kind of works out naturally.
Mm-hmm.
But I have tried to move it for demonstration purposes or for testing purposes, or even just removing that little screen to clean it. Something about putting the screen back, it's not one of my strongest abilities with the Dynavap, and I don't know if the Dynavap is just not quite honed in for screen replacement, but to be honest, I don't think you need to replace the screen all that often.
Honestly, the only time I replace the screen is when I clean it. And
do you take it out to clean it?
Yeah, because a lot of times it just gets gunked up. Because I'm one of those doofuses who hits it and leaves it all packed overnight and comes back and I ruin these things.
I do too. I do the same thing. But with the Vapcap, I just vape through that, and then it'll
love it,
clear up. And if I need to clean it, I'll alcohol it. Just do the whole thing with alcohol.
I should do more hot load cleaning more often on all my vapes instead of just running them into the dirt until I get the ice out. That's typically what I do. But no, I was going to say about the screen. I tried it a couple times, didn't have much luck, didn't care because I don't use it, and basically just chalked it up to, I know it works because I know a lot of people for whom it works. So it's like I don't doubt that it works. I just don't do it. So
yeah. I did get mine to stay at the very, very shallow, like super micro dosing rim, and I vaped the bowl with that, and I was vaping with very small amounts of weed, and then I promptly put my screen back and had another bowl to get my medicine.
That's awesome.
So I know you're also a fan of the stainless steel tip over titanium. Like I know you used stainless with your induction. How do you feel about this year's stainless? Like they made some pretty drastic changes overall.
Yeah, pretty interesting. The tip is 20% heavier than last year's.
I noticed that too.
You did? Okay, good. So yeah, it's noticeable, and it seems to me that most of it is in these. Well, my focus is just screwing up this whole video. Is in those ridges right there. Can't get it, can I? Anyhow, it's all in here. They just have thicker fins.
Yeah, there's more mass in the tip and less mass in the body.
I haven't figured out yet what I think that does.
It puts the balance forward, so you can feel the hot end without feeling the heat. But I mean, compared to the 2019, like if you weigh the tip versus tip and body versus body, like the tip went up in weight and the body went down in weight.
Right. Funky.
Yeah, it's different.
I just haven't decided if I like this tip better yet. The 2019 tip for me is magic, man. That motherfucker's awesome. And when this one came out, I thought, oh man, they've done something to it. And I'm not sure, man. Like I did a side-by-side on Sunday, and it felt like on the 2019 tip, I got a little quicker extraction. Like I actually had one extra hit on the 2020 than 2019, but that was only with one side-by-side. I got to do a whole lot more of that kind of shit. But it was different enough for me to go, So, and I was using the same cap, because the cap is every cap's got its own personality. You got to be consistent in your caps. You're testing these things. So,
how do you get everything else consistent? Do you use like induction? Do you pack with the exact same amount of weed? Like what?
Yeah, I'll use ground weed, and I won't use the nuggets because those who knows what you get when I do that. So I'll use the ground weed. I'll use the induction heater, and I'll use the same cap. And in this particular case, because I was trying to compare the tip and body. So, but the captive cap is cool. I know that everybody out there has got one that they're doing this to, and it won't fly off. And I didn't bother doing that to mine, and it was working really well. And then sure as shit, and this has never happened to me on one of the old ones, I pulled out of my heater and it fell right onto my lap and burned a hole in my pants. And I was like, how the hell did that happen after they fixed it to me? It's never happened to any of the other ones. And I started to play with it, and there's one side on here. Well, there's two of them because there's the pattern recurs, or maybe, but where there's two indentions one way down, and if it got on that side, it would just fall right off. So I squeezed the tail just a little bit, and now it doesn't come off unintentionally ever. So at least now when you squeeze it, it actually fixes it. So I'm here to tell people, yes, you'll still get the very small percentage of caps that are going to slide off. But this time, if you just squeeze a little bit, it's fixed forever, man. Like, this thing really is a good cap. It doesn't come off at all.
I'm still a little bit torn because I find myself vaping bowls in a row often with the Vapcap. And if I can't get my cap adjusted perfectly, like let's say I was done with my bowl right now, it'd be hot.
Mm-hmm.
And then I would have to be I find myself reaching for like tweezers, to like remove my cap.
Yeah.
It's a new part of the process. Whereas before, I always had the magnet, but you can still, with the new captive cap, you can still tune it. You can still squeeze it and shape it and make it in a way where you can let it slide off. Right now, mine's not like
it. Was funny. I saw your 420 video where you talked about that, and I was like, you know what? I'm never one of those dudes that did that. Like, I never used the magnet to pull the cap off. I only ever used the magnet just to cool the cap, so then I can pull it off.
So how do you remove your cap when it's hot?
I just wait a few seconds. It cools down pretty quickly, or at least enough to where I can just kind of go like that. And, I'll get it off pretty quickly. It's never been a problem. I will say I agree with you, because I do it that way. The fact that this doesn't come off so easily is a little more of a problem in that sense, but it's because I bent it, so it's on a little more now. So I'm looking forward to getting a few more of these little caps and playing with them. I think I only have the one right now. Oh no, I do have another one that I can grab and play with. Okay, cool. I've got a second one I can play with, and we'll see what
on happens. The old titanium tip where the grooves are spiral, the captive cap becomes a thread off.
It's great, right? Yeah.
You can just go whoop.
And you can actually even do it with your M, because remember I told you how it's a zigzag pattern. If you just kind of wiggle it a little bit, it'll kind of twist off, follow on that little zigzag pattern. It works really well on the old M, not so well on the new one, but it does work still. So yeah, you're right. That little thing is fun to play with. But what I'm really excited about the most, dude, is these airports. Airports are dope.
What did George call them?
Chiral airports. I haven't looked that up yet.
I looked it up, and somebody corrected me and said it was chiral. I'm not sure if it's true or not. But
that'll work too.
Probably.
Chiral works. Chiral, chiral. I don't care what you.
I remember my chemistry teacher pronouncing it chiral, but he could be a dumbass for all I know. So yeah, the chiral or chiral airports. You're a featherer, right? You feather your carb, your airport.
Yeah, so I love this shit.
Yeah. Do you notice a difference?
Oh yeah. Check this out. So I usually shotgun it with a tight pull and then rotate. Can you hear that?
Yeah.
And then what's dope about this is I usually sit at about half full or half open and check out the difference in sound as soon as I know I've gone too far. As soon as I hear that whistle, I know I've hit just past the halfway point, and I'm a halfway guy. So it works perfectly for me. Plus, then I know that I've also broken in, and I might be fucking with the vortex, because I think that when you get it going down one side, you're cruising, or the other. But if you get them both, they're going to fuck with each other. So I either roll it one way or the other and just go to an open part. But so I don't know if this chiral thing's going to catch on. I would probably call it the double offset, man. I mean, basically that's what it is. It's the offset, the sort of like the Simrel teardrop offset, except they've changed the shape and made it go both ways, which is fucking cool as shit.
Yeah. Well, the Hydrovong also had that offset, and that it was a slot shaped airport
Hmm.
the same way.
But
I
only to one side.
but only on the one side. I like calling it the dual offset as well, and I like it a lot. I'm a halfway guy too, especially with this one, and it feels smoother. Like when you hit it halfway, even with the vape wide open with no vapor in there. Like when you hit it with both open, you can almost feel like feathering in the air. But when you close it halfway, it just feels like smooth air going over your tongue.
That's a righteous hit, man. Every time I tell you, man, these Dynavaps are just, it's ridiculous, really, when you think about it. I mean, look at this little fucking thing. And you get big rips, man.
You do get big rips.
You get big rips.
Do you have a wood
That's dope.
sense?
I have my Beta Wood Sense up there, which has a really old power brick that I don't have much faith in, but yeah, I do. It's beautiful.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna hit my Vapcap M with my wood sense. I got my wood sense here
Please
turned
do.
on.
Yeah, that would be dope. I want to see how that goes.
Because the great thing about the wood sense is you can use it with your Vapcap tips. And you put your Vapcap tips on the wood sense stem, and it works really nice. So you get like a glass stem option, and you get the wood stem with the Vapcap tip, which is why I've always liked the wood sense over most of the other log vapes. And it makes it all convection. Well, depending on how you hit it.
Oh man, that was like a choker, man. Like this place is fogged up.
So this is going to be a
Fucking great,
convection
man.
hit from the wood sense with the vortex
With no cap on it, right?
with no cap. Yeah.
This fucking thing is great.
So terpy. Holy fuck. Wow.
Right.
Wasn't quite ready for that.
That was a nice blue cloud, man.
And it hurt.
It hurt. I thought I had some of them tweezers here too, but I don't.
That killed
Who's
it in
telling
one
us?
hit. That killed that shit in one hit.
Oh, that's dope.
You can taste
You
it.
pack it a little
end.
light, right? You got to pack it lighter so that because you have to get some depth to it.
Yeah, you got to pack a little bit lighter, and then I squish it down a little bit. Otherwise you would get a little bit of herb on top of the heater. Whoops.
Yeah.
On top of the. Come on now, boys and girls. Whoop.
You're just hitting everything, man. That's great.
Yeah, so you get
Man, our focuses suck tonight, man.
right.
There you go. You finally got it. That's beautiful. Yeah, I love that thing, man.
This is a great little device. Whew. And I've been using the induction heater from JoJo. This is a portable induction heater you got from JoJo's Creations on Etsy. Which induction are you using right there?
This is my favorite one here, man.
Is it the Portside Mini?
I don't remember which one it was, but it was in that bloodline. I put tape over it because he told me he didn't want me to use it on camera. And I'm like, I'm gonna fucking start using it because it's forever that I couldn't use this thing. And I was like, it's my favorite one, and I'm always doing this shit on camera. So I don't know what it's called, but
Does he sell
he
it?
doesn't make them. No.
Oh.
That's why he didn't want me to fucking put it on here. So
Okay.
sorry, Pipes. It's been
Pipes.
too long, brother. It's been too long. But anyhow, no, this thing is dope, man. We were working on a couple of them, and you know, these things are tricky. You got to get the coil just right, or the temperature's hot or low or whatever. So we were dialing that in, and this one's fun. And I love the size is dope as shit. So
how long do you get out of a charge on that?
I don't know. I rarely run it dry in a day because I just don't use it as much. You know, I'll grab it for a couple of bowls here and there, but if I recall correctly, I probably got about maybe 8, 9, 10 bowls. I have no idea. I'm making that up. It's been forever.
Okay. I received this one on Thursday, And I used it exclusively almost all weekend, like when I was tripping on shrooms and shit. And it still says full charged.
And you haven't had to do a thing to it. It's like, is it operating the same all week? Like, you don't see any dip in performance?
No, I haven't seen anything. It's been rocking. It's got a little battery meter right here. So if you hit the little, oh, it finally went down 1 tick.
Oh yeah, that's the same battery meter that's on my port side kind of thing. Those are cool.
Yeah. I think JoJo sells these for like $150.
That's pretty good. I wonder how many 18650s has got in it. That's a big ass brick.
There's 3.
3?
Yep, just 3.
How many bowls do you think you ran through that thing?
And at least 25.
That's a buttload, man. Like,
I've been vaping a lot.
I don't have an induction heater that'll do that. I've got induction heaters with 3 18650s, but they don't do that many fucking balls.
This one does pretty good.
That's a lot.
I don't know.
Way to go, JoJo.
I don't know if it's his tuning or what, but man.
Well, wait a minute. That's so far? 25 so far?
Yeah.
And you just lost your first bar? Jesus, man. That really is an end times fucking induction heater there, man. Nice work, JoJo. I say you power some shit right there.
I get JoJo working on an induction vape.
Oh, right on, man. Get that shit going. It's time. Got the diamond cut, bitches.
Love my brilliant cut, man.
I always say diamond cut. I'm sick of saying that.
It works so well with Dynavaps because it has the magnet. You know?
Yeah, you like to use that the same way in that. That's right. I forgot, man. Since I don't do that shit, I got to start doing that. I got to start stepping up. Got you on that one. I heard it. That one made it.
Oh, Jerry. Inhaled too much vapor through my nose. I did the French inhale thing with the.
You go to town, brother.
I did the French inhale thing with the Vapcap, and now it's making me all sneezy. Sneezy.
You French inhaled your Vapcap vapor?
Something that I do with the Vap. Yeah, it's a habit that I've developed with the Vapcap that I get it super thick. You do like a little mouth to lung technique, and I
didn't see it. Okay. I gotta watch the tape.
Yeah, you can watch the video.
I have to watch the video. Hey kids, make sure you tune in the video because Troy's gonna. Oh, it already happened. You'd have to cut that and put it in front for this to make any sense.
If you could probably talk me into another bowl. Like I could probably do it.
I'd love to see you do a French inhale I'm ready for it.
I'd have to might have to grind some more.
Yeah, make it happen, man.
I can do this.
This cap's got 2 clicks. That was 1. Oh, fuck. Tell me you have the second one coming.
Combustion.
I'm probably burning this shit out of my set. You're going to cut that out. Let's see, man. Because it does. It has 2 clicks, and I think I didn't hear the first one.
We're an honest show here, Jerry. You know the rules.
Time to dab.
It's time to dab. Did you combust?
Look at this.
Is that cherried? Yep, I would say so.
Yeah, I'm smoking this fucker.
Time to clean it. Jerry, I got some peanut butter breath. Have you had peanut butter breath?
Is that a strain or something?
Yeah, it's a strain.
No, I've never heard of it. It sounds wonderful.
It smells and tastes exactly like it's named. Like if you were to feed a dog peanut butter and then let it lick your face, that's what this weed smells like.
So it has that dog breath undertones?
Yeah, it has like it's almost like like the lamb's bread smell with hints of nuttiness. I don't honestly like it very much.
Oh, you don't like it? Oh, I can't wait to have some.
Can you have some?
What's that?
Did you say, can you have some?
I would say it sounds like I'd love to try some because I'm all into that kind of shit.
It's interesting. I mean, If you think real hard about peanut butter, it kind of smells like peanut butter, tastes like peanut butter.
Right on.
Get the peanut butter placebo. You gonna dab? Hey, we got to do an episode about that little gadget too. Not tonight, but soon.
You're absolutely right, man. I'm gonna see if I've got a penalty dab in here if I have to reload it. See what it does. I hit it downstairs earlier and there was still plenty on it because it does pull up in the corners. That we need to work on that.
Oh, I think I've been using a feather technique to like get it to go a little bit better. I don't know. We'll have to compare notes. What temperature are you liking with it? The green?
All day. See, but now I need to clean that. I got to get my Blazy Susan tips in here.
Shout out Blazy Susan with the pink Q-tips. Oh man.
Yeah, man.
I'm digging these. These are nice. They're like the glob mops, but pink.
Exactly. Perfect for this thing, man. Yeah, dude, I'll tell you, man. You get yourself a Vapcap M. Pre-order that fucker for $60.
What is that? How much it is?
Yeah.
It's
75 retail, and you can pre-order them for 60.
You can pre-order them for 60?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So up until like March, or I mean at the end of the month, to the end of March. So you got a great deal in that for the next 2 weeks. Then this little fucker releases on 420 for like 160. I mean, that's some pretty sick urban and dab functionality for $250.
Yeah.
$220 if you do the math right. So happy 420.
You see the French inhale?
God damn it, no.
Man.
You gotta tell me when you're doing shit because I'm always like, I'm drifting. I miss everything.
All right, I'm gonna do it right. I'm gonna do it right now.
Dope. What do you push it out with your tongue and sniff it?
Yeah.
How do you do that?
My mom taught it to me with cigarettes when I was like 15.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm. It needs to be. It helps to get a little milkier vapor.
Yeah.
I wouldn't recommend doing what I'm doing right now.
You going way past click?
Oh, yeah, we're beyond the click.
Did you penalty dab it or not quite?
What?
Did you go into penalty dab territory? And
no, we're not. We're not combusted, but we're beyond the click.
We're beyond the click, all right. Let's see how bad mine is.
Oh, now you're gonna make me sneeze.
So, what we got here is the Armada going on here, right? And so, this is the 19M that I use mostly. And it's got Simrel's mouthpiece on it, which I think is going to look dope as shit on the new one here. So, and that now is, see, this is where the new M's going to go. So, in the Armada here, this row right here is the M's from start to finish. We got this isn't an M, but it's the original glass one. And then this is the original M right here. And then sandblasted M, that was a cool one. And this is the 18. What do they call this one, Troy? The 18, the black one. What do they call that?
The first one was the Phantom or the Shadow.
Well, the Phantom is
Shadow.
Shadow. That's right. So that was the Shadow M. And then and this is my Karma vape, which
we're supposed to give that away.
I know. Well, I almost gave it away last time, and I thought, you know what? I'm gonna give him a different one because every time I see this, it reminds me to get rid of a vape, and so I think that's a cool way for somebody like me to take advantage of what that's supposed to do. And then here's the 19, and then the 19 pink, shadow, and gold, and so then the 20 will go right here. but I'm gonna put Sim's mouthpiece on it because I like the longer shit, man. I'm into that. I like that stuff.
Have you seen some of those longer pieces that Fat Piggy has posted, or Kellic Girl Woodworks, like KG Woodworks?
I have seen some of hers. They're nice.
She posted some beautiful stuff. Let me bring up some of those and show those here. Let's use our technology.
There we go.
KG
Wow, there, my man.
Woodcraft. Sorry.
You like that? Is that in focus?
Nice.
That's his
with
Simril
mouthpiece.
Yeah, spinning titanium mouthpiece.
That's a cool setup there.
That is pretty dope. He's got his S on there. That's pretty sweet. Yeah, I like that. We'll roll with that. I'll give that a run for a while, see how I like that.
Here's some of Kellic Girls. This one's beautiful.
Yeah, I've seen that a lot. That's dope. She calls it the gentleman's thing, right? Yeah, the gentleman's executive. Those are cool.
Yeah, I like that a lot. I have one of her pieces. She made one for me.
You got it there? Let's check it out, man.
Yeah, let me grab it. All right. Check this shit out, Jerry.
Oh, dope, man. That's from her?
Yeah.
Love that.
Got this. I forget what this is called, like when they do this corkscrew thing.
Twisty burl.
But
thing.
I know that's a lot of work. Like that's done by hand. Like you put it on the lathe. You don't actually turn the lathe. You just like let it sit there straight and you just like file and turn and file and turn and file.
Wow.
It's a lot of work. And this thing, this stem, it's got I think it's a stainless steel or titanium lining. I can't remember which it is. I apologize.
Start to finish all the way through?
It doesn't go quite all the way through. How far does it
It's probably just to hold the tip so you don't crack the wood. That's really smart.
It goes pretty far, though. It goes almost all the way through. So it goes up until about here.
Nice.
Yeah, so it's mostly titanium lined, and this is Purple Heart. So like I don't get any irritation. And normally I get irritated from Purple Heart.
Is that a no carb?
Yeah, there's no carb on it. I love the way it feels, man.
Right? Those are fun at times, man. I like to switch it up.
Man, I wish I had this when I was tripping on mushrooms last weekend.
My only real no carb is the cloak that I have that I use. This one.
Oh, that's a no carb?
Yeah, it's the only one I have. Everything else I have is really sweet. Like I have a couple vortexes but that's my no carb, and that's my celebratory, which is perfect for no carb vaping, man. You know, I mean, that's when you're really just chilling out. So
yeah. So it's interesting how there's the no carb experience and the traditional experience, and now even George is changing it up with the chiral dual offset airports.
Right. Pretty cool, man.
Love seeing it all adapt and change.
That's great, man. I like this. Just in time for me to need to clean it since I fucking combusted in it.
Hey, did you do your dab? Oh yeah, you did. You got the Vista Mini out. We'll do a future Troy and Jerry show about the Vista Mini 2 from X-Vape.
Yeah, we should do that soon, or maybe just wait for 420 or whatever. I don't know, man. Whatever you think.
I want to make sure it's actually coming out before we do it. Like I don't want to make a video and then have it not be out for another month or 2 months because it keeps getting delayed.
Do you fear that with this one, or you just in general?
Just in general, with so much stuff going on, with all these shutdowns and with the virus situation, you know, who knows?
No, you're right. That's smart. I like it. You're thinking, Troy. You're thinking. He's using that noggin. So, was there anything else on this fucking thing that you wanted to talk about on the, I think we hit from tip all the way down. I mean, you know, they did the O-ring thing on the end, which is nice.
What's the O-ring thing on the end? What are you talking about? Oh, I remember George. Groove. Okay, so there's a groove on the condenser itself now?
Or... There's a groove, right, except that I'm looking at the Simril mouthpiece, but if I didn't have it on there, right inside, on the inside, there's a groove here so that the so that the O-ring butts up against it a little bit instead of just you can push it all the way. You used to be able to push it too far. Now it kind of butts up against it.
Okay.
So it's kind of a guide for that outer O-ring.
That's good. I haven't taken mine apart for a full deep clean yet. I should do that. But yeah.
You know, this combustor's about to. Burner Jer over here.
You know, I always did have problems with yeah. Now I'll definitely have to do a full review now because I didn't include that in the first video, and that's a really nice improvement. Because whenever when I put together like my Nonavong, and it's not so bad with the Hydravong, but my Nonavong was really bad. Trying to get the condenser with the 2 rings back in there perfectly.
Yep.
A little bit of a frustration.
Yep.
Like I found myself using like 2 or 3 different tools all at once, like something to push the ring from one side and then get in there and tap it from the other, and like, oh, come on, you mother bitch, please. You know, I don't. That's not a good experience. So
sometimes those wood bodies would grab. You're right.
But yeah, this just went back in really easily. So that's a good change. That's a really good change. In my video, I said that this is now tapered to fit natively with a 10 millimeter glass. And
that's right. I forgot about that.
Somebody left a comment saying that they've all been like that, and I don't think that's the case. I mean,
no,
2019 is not tapered. It's
no, they've all been 10 millimeters, but they've never been tapered.
Yeah.
So this one is 10 millimeters like all of them, but it has just the slightest taper, so that now the old ones, they'd fit any 10 millimeter thing, but as soon as they got in there, they would just kind of ram in and stick. And if you broke it, you'd lose the seal. Whereas this one with just that little bit of taper, I haven't tried it yet, but it should just grab. It should like grab for you and not be something that just breaks out really easily.
That's the
difference.
I tested it with the old glass adapter, but I can't find it now.
It actually shows up with this Simrel mouthpiece because the taper, you can see the old one, it was a nice smooth, and now there's a little bit of a ridge because it tapers in and goes out.
It's not flush anymore.
There's the proof in the pudding.
Mm-hmm. Pudding sounds really good.
Right? I was always a chocolate pudding guy myself.
Pretty much any pudding that is real.
Butterscotch pudding.
Tapioca pudding is even legit.
Tapioca is good stuff.
I didn't know until recently that tapioca isn't like a seed from a plant. It's like I've always thought like those little balls were like some sort of like fruit or seed or some shit. No, they're made with like a starch, like a sugar that's just been treated a certain way. Those little balls in tapioca pudding are the same balls essentially that are in like the Asian milk teas, like the boba. It's the same thing, just made a little bit bigger.
We've been lied to, huh?
Well, I don't know about lied to, but if somebody ever told me that tapioca was like a fruit, then yeah. But I don't know.
I don't think it's a fruit, but it's supposed to be something. Gotta look that shit up. That's what Google's for, kids. I don't know.
Let me look it up. Since I brought it up, and this is the Troy and Jerry show, I don't want to leave people hanging.
Don't leave me hanging. We ain't ending like that. We ain't ending on tapioca's fake.
Tapioca is a starch extracted from the cassava root. It is used as a thickening agent in many foods. It can be made into flour. It has similar texture to cornstarch, which is oftentimes used in gluten-free breads. It can also be made into pearls of varying sizes. Those pearls are what we have in tapioca pudding and boba tea.
I thought it came from some kind of a root, but I didn't know enough about it. That makes sense. But are you saying that the tapioca balls themselves are shit because we just processed one little thing out of a root, or is it coming from a good source?
I think that was probably a question for a dietitian or a specialist of some sort. Like I'm no expert.
Come on, Dr. Troy, answer up, motherfucker. You brought it up.
I know people have like there were one time I was drinking a milk tea in my stream. Like I was drinking a boba tea and I was eating boba and I was like chewing the boba. And somebody who was like a chef in my stream, like somebody that I'd spoken to before as a chef, he was like, oh, I can't believe you're eating that shit. And I'm like, what? I'm like boba? Really? And he's like, yeah. He's like, have you seen how that shit's made? And I'm like, I mean, not in depth. But yeah, I haven't seen
Answer
that
to
dude
that
in a
is
while.
no. So he scared you off the shit, huh?
No, I still eat boba.
Okay, good. That's fucking, you show him, man. I hope you fucking eat it in his face next time too, man. Hey, motherfucker.
My daughter works at a boba tea place, and she consumes a lot of boba.
I'll bet.
It's probably not healthy.
Yeah, if I worked at one of those, man, it'd be probably one or two of my meals a day.
Mm-hmm. It is kind of a meal. Like you drink your tea and you chew on the boba.
Eat your starch, boom.
Uh-huh.
See, they got us.
There's got to be a market for improving these boba things. Like you could inject it with meat. Like have meat boba. That way it's
What?
like
Oh, that's right. I forgot. I'm not talking to a vegan. Okay, never mind.
and I gotta admit, I kind of went with meat because I knew you were vegan.
That's funny. I'm going, what the fuck must I put that in? You went from a vegetable to a starch to now meat.
Well, I was just thinking, like, if somebody's making a meal out of their milk tea with boba, and they're chewing up their boba, and that's their meal, like, why not, like, hey,
Well,
make it something that's like actually a good meal rather than just this starch from this cassava plant or whatever, like some
I
meat
want
and some
Troy's
veggies.
barbecue boba, man.
Barbecue boba.
Troy's barbecue boba. That's what I want.
You could put frozen peas in your tea. That way, when you're drinking, you just get the peas, chew up the peas. That could be a thing. Keeps your drink cold.
Would Troy's barbecue boba be sweet barbecue or a mustardy barbecue?
Probably sweet. It'd be sweet.
Okay.
Yeah, I do
What's
like
your-
I do like mustardy barbecue, but it's a once in a while thing. Like I like I make sweet ribs. I make sweet pulled pork.
What are your favorite sweeteners?
I like. I think it's called cactus honey. It's,
What?
yeah, it's like dehydrated honey.
The powder?
Yeah,
Never heard of it.
that's
Just
what I
use that as a rub?
that's what I use in my rubs. I used to use turbinado sugar, but what I like about the cactus honey is it doesn't caramelize and turn as black as quickly as all the other sugars. So it maintains a nice hue. You can build up a nice bark and it still stays like mahogany without turning black.
Damn.
Yeah. And it rubs on real nice and it has a real nice taste. And I use dehydrated peach in my rub as well. And I use peach wood in my smoke. So I get this peach theme going. Oh yeah, Jerry, you wouldn't be vegan around here. You'd be eating my meat and the juices would be dripping down your chin and you'd beg for more.
That sounds really good. And what I find interesting is people who usually make the best barbecues have some kind of a recipe like yours, and every ingredient is a plant. Like there's no meat in your rubs, there's no meat in your marinades. It's all the plants that bring in the flavor. And boy, that list you made sounded good. Dehydrated honey, I've never heard of it. Oh my God, I want it on everything.
Yeah, I mean, I used to do a lot of barbecue. I don't know if we ever talked about it or not, but like there was a time in my life where one of my big, hairy, audacious goals, like one of my like in my next 3 to 5 years, I wanted to be competing in like KCBS style competitions. Like I wanted to be traveling to at least 5 or 6 of these different events and competing and potentially trying to win money. Maybe not make a career out of it, but at least make a name for myself at the time. Like that's kind of the a possible direction in life that I was looking to go. So I was practicing barbecue like 3 times a week. Like I was smoking pork butts and smoking ribs and smoking chickens.
Practicing barbecue 3 times a week. That's basically barbecuing every day, man.
It was like I was taking
Amazing.
meat to work. Like hey, I made these things, And then I
You're
started
making friends, man. Making friends, that's for sure.
and I started doing catering. Like people wanted me to like make pulled pork for their graduation party or for their whatever.
Nice.
I did it for my day job for a while. Like I catered my day jobs because like they provided lunch every single day. So like every 3 months or so, they would pay me to smoke a bunch of pork and bring a bunch of smoked pork in.
And you were bringing in every day anyhow, so that's just perfect.
Well, I was bringing in some at when I
Right.
started, but yeah, when they paid me, I would smoke like 10 butts and then bring in like 10 butts.
Amazing.
Yeah,
That's
dude.
cool, man. So you're a legit chef on hand, man.
At some things, like there are some things that I can cook very well. Like I'm not an all around like like trained chef or anything like that, but I can make barbecue. I can make some badass pulled pork, some badass ribs. I got a few really good chicken recipes up my sleeve.
I can do a mean hummus spread on toast every day of the week, man.
Make your homemade hummus.
No, I just open up the thing and spread the
Come
hummus on the toast.
on. I thought you were gonna at least say you open up a can of garbanzo beans and season them and blend them or something.
You know how much work that is?
It's so worth it though. Have you ever made homemade hummus?
We did it once or twice. We if we did it more often, probably gotten better at it, but it's a lot of work. You know why? Because we like to get rid of the skins.
Okay.
That's a lot of work.
Can't you buy garbanzo beans without skins?
I'm in America. I probably could. America. Buy any bean I want, any
America.
condition I want, any way I want, any taste, flavor, color, size, origin. Yes, I can have that in a bean. I'm American.
Love it. Man, now I want some hummus.
Right? Listen, if you're buying hummus in the store, free endorsement, guys. Ithaca brand hummus. My personal favorite is the garlic lemon.
Sounds yummy.
On the fucking top of the label, it says this hummus tastes fresh, and they say that it's because they use a cold filter press process. They don't use any heat in there. And I'm telling you, man, I have tried every hummus in my store, and it fucking tastes fresh, and it tastes better than every hummus on the shelf. It's great.
I've seen that brand. It's like has like a Greek like Parthenon logo or something.
No, I think you think these are in a square. They're in a square tub with a white lid, and it's Ithaca, but it doesn't have that kind of a logo on it.
Okay, I'll still. Is it in the deli? Where would I find this brand of hummus?
It's always in with all the other hummuses everywhere I go. But I mean, we have it at Publix. We might have it at Winn-Dixie. I don't shop there often. We used to have it at Lucky's before they shut down. Every grocery store I go to has it now in Florida. Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Ithaca hummus. It says this hummus tastes fresh and they don't use heat and it's legit.
How are the grocery store situations in your time and area right now?
So far, they still have hummus. I'll tell you, it's I started going to the grocery store on Thursday, and I was just grabbing maybe enough stuff that would get my gluten-free household needs through a couple of weeks. So I was focusing on the gluten-free shit that I knew if I couldn't get a hold of that, we'd have some problems in the house. So I made sure we stocked up on a few options of those. And so on Wednesday I went and got a few boxes of spaghetti. And then, but it was kind of funny, man. It was like, or on Thursday I went and I looked around and there were a few more people than normal, but it was no big deal. We were just chilling. And I was literally looking around going, we should be flipping out right about now. And then I went the next day and there was a bigger crowd, a little more hustle bustle. And by the day before, there's no toilet paper. Now there's no alcohol wipes, and now we're running low on canned foods. Now some of the shit that I started buying the day before, I'm like, now they're catching on. And then the next day I went. Actually, no, on that day I decided let's check this out. I went to 3 different stores all up and down the beach here, and every one of them had a different vibe and feel. Those are dope.
See these?
Yeah, well, I haven't seen them. I saw them on his post. That's all I saw.
See, they're huge.
Are they the big, really tough, like?
I don't want to sacrifice one, but I will just because I love you guys.
Yeah, they're the same as the ones that are the Vapor ones, the hybrid innovations.
Look at this, Jerry.
Has it got texture on one side?
No. No, it's smooth on both sides, but it's 99% alcohol. It's huge.
Is it
Like,
pretty strong?
yeah, like earlier, like I forget what I opened one up for, and I used it, and I was like, shit, I feel like I need to clean more things because it's so huge and so wet.
Right. You don't want to waste it.
I pulled down my jar of brushes and I cleaned all of my brushes with the excess like alcohol wipe. I was like, except for this
That's
one
awesome.
apparently. So I cleaned all of my brushes except for one.
That's funny, man.
Promise they're all clean there.
Holy shit, man. You're putting those to work. I remember when Stores and Bickle sent you those.
Dude, I use these things so frequently. So
Fuck yeah. I've
frequently.
just never seen a jar like that. And they all look like you've been cleaning them, man. Like you're getting them all like waxied up. It's great.
Oh man, they're perfect. I got a few of them in my bathroom in the medicine cabinet. So when I'm in there cleaning something with the alcohol, if I need pull one out real quick to clean a screen, I can boop, got one in there. So
That's
handy.
dope.
So handy.
I loves it.
Jerry, this has been a fantastic episode of the Troy and Jerry Show, talking about the 2020 Vapcap M.
2020 Vapcap M, man. 10 millimeter tapered, and we covered the O-ring. We caught those at the end there, man. We were working our way down and stopped at the airport, and we needed to go a little further.
Yeah, we got a little distracted.
Well, that'll happen.
So these are pre-order as of now, right? Like you can pre-order these right now.
Yes,
And you said pre-order is $60. I didn't know that. I thought
that's right.
I thought it was 75.
There's 75 retail because the normal M is 70. So typically the new M's go up in $5, and they discount on the pre-orders. They did this last year. It's getting to be pretty standard now. So
Okay.
$60, but then come April 1st, it's up to 75. Maybe a 420 special. I don't remember. But I will say this before we sign off, guys. When I compare the 2019 to the 2020 so far, in terms of vapor, I don't see that there's a need to upgrade if you're just all about the vapor. Last year, huge upgrade in the vapor performance, in my opinion. I told everybody, I don't even use the older M's. If it's 2019 or bust, and you know what I mean, kind of thing for me. But this 2020 is on par with it, just as good. I do like the airports better, but I just wanted to say that don't feel like if you love your 19, don't feel like you have to run out and get the 2020 unless there's some of these features that you really like.
Yeah. The upgradability isn't necessarily pulling with the M's. I try to treat the M's as like every year there's a new one. Doesn't mean you need to get a new one every year though. Like I don't get a new car every year.
Right.
It's more like every 3 years or 4 years or 5 years, or maybe drive one for 10 years, or until something crazy comes out where it's like, ah, shit, I need to have that, the new Tesla or whatever.
Yeah, I wouldn't. Like I said, unless you like the look or some of the features, like the cap to cap for the Chiral airport thing. Vapor wise, I don't. And what I think is really cool though is that I think that if you're really a bargain hunter, well, shit, it's starting April. You'll see discounted 2019s all over the place. So people have stock, they're going to drop those, and whatever you get those at a discount, that's a good deal right there.
Yep. Very true. Very true. All right, Jerry. Until next time, one of our next episodes is going to be about that little Vista Mini, but I don't know if that's going to be our next one or not.
Might as well. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Okay. Well, it's 3:16 right now.